Hello and welcome.
Good evening, good afternoon.
My name is Alex and this is the Gameweek 8 preview team selection video and also a little bit of a retrospect view on what happened in Gameweek 7. And in fact, a massive downfall happened after getting into like top 600,000 a few game weeks ago. I'm now outside of 2 million. So don't unsubscribe yet. Don't leave this. I have something to explain. Look, I made a -12 transfer situation here, and I still, all of my transfers kind of delivered. And in fact, I was like a few points positive after making those. My problem is that I decided to go against Saka, and it actually definitely backfired massively, just because I decided to play triple Arsenal defense to do something different. And instead, I was punished by Arsenal not keeping a clean sheet against the two easiest easiest fixtures, against the two teams that aren't really well known for scoring many goals. And they, in fact, scored both of their goals away. And Leicester, I think, remains the only team that scores every game, I guess, maybe apart from like the big teams. And this is where I think, this is where it all went wrong. 44 points, captaincy blank. We had Faz with 6-pointer on the bench, and well, all the Arsenal guys are slacking. And yeah, it is what it is. But look, I was setting up for this triple Arsenal defense with this massive points hit. Why? Because my wildcard was a little bit of a failure. Yes, it scored a few points at the start, and I was, at this point of the season, I was around 600,000 rank, even before the wildcard. And I thought, well, when I used my triple captaincy on Haaland and he scored a hat-trick there, I could maybe spend a few points and maybe play a little bit of a differential wildcard. Obviously, backfired instantly. So that's why people who are making fantasy content, imagine they're doing this, they're gonna be completely like this career going down the drain. But what we are doing for this week, I think the best transfer is no transfer. I have one, of course, but I probably will be saving it. Or should my decision to not play one of these cheap defenders just overcome the urge of getting Brian Johnson in my team, I will probably hit one of these on the bench and play Brian Johnson, and it's going to be a transfer from Semenyo to Brian Johnson, because skipping Semenyo for these three fixtures, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a good idea. Like 16 points from Saka would have been a green arrow, and I would be around 1 million rank maybe. But it is what it is. Our strikers are a little bit, like especially Calvert-Lewin, stinking it up. So I think I need to upgrade my strikers. And on the radar for me, I would say, are probably Delap. So Delap would be an interesting choice. And I'm saving some money. So Calvert-Lewin to Delap. If they're not delivering in the next few game weeks, I will probably go for Delap because I'm saving money. And in addition to that, I may be getting somehow getting to Saka or Palmer by just selling one of my Arsenal defenders. So I think, of course, I tripled up on Arsenal, but actually trying to ship them off is a good idea. Newcastle away, Chelsea at home, away as well. So Liverpool at home. All of these fixtures, I think Arsenal can be equally conceding goals. If they did it, I mean, maybe that was some kind of a fluke that they didn't concede goals. So Tottenham away, and Raya came out with some nice points even against Man City. I think this is where Arsenal tripled up. They just shown that they can't keep a clean sheet. They can't be trusted. And contrary to popular belief, where double Arsenal defense is now template, if I had a wildcard, I would probably be keeping Raya, Gabriel possibly just for this IRL threat, but I definitely wouldn't be tripling up. And in fact, I could be getting a different goalkeeper. So Arsenal goalkeeper is good, but Everton goalkeeper, you're saving some money, and if Braithwaite is coming back, so if you are considering changing goalkeeper, which is not recommended to make other than if you're on wildcard, make this transfer, I would be selling Raya, I think, because I feel like this is not screaming clean sheets for me. And even Bournemouth game, where I'm playing triple Arsenal defense myself, I feel like this is going to be 3 blanks for me as well. Despite Bournemouth not scoring against Leicester, I think they played previous game, which is, I expected my Semenyo to at least do something, but they decided to stop scoring out of sudden. But yeah, it is what it is. This is my team selection then. Play the wildcard, play the triple captain, 2 million rank, unacceptable. But we move where Mo Salah is sitting at 4 million rank. And we can take a look at his team and maybe make some quick judgments and decisions on whether Liverpool players believe in themselves and whether they are rating other bowlers from other teams, and maybe make our decisions ourselves while we're at it, whether we should be getting any of these players. Saka, by the way, is flagged, but that means that he's going to be starting against Bournemouth. Havertz, on the other hand, didn't even participate in the international games, so I think this could be a little bit worrying. See, he may be not starting a game against Bournemouth just to keep him fresh to play against Liverpool. But in my opinion, both of them are starting regardless of what Arteta says during the press conferences. There's a Robo, Salah, and Diogo Jota. Look, this is 99.9% Mo Salah's team, just because they have a mini league, and that mini league consists of Liverpool players, and they also are part of other mini leagues where you can spot some bloggers, like local celebrities, I don't know, you name them, right? And when their identity is established, those mini leagues, you just don't have fakes in those mini leagues, right? And then eventually you just use one player like that, who is like a verified player, like we have James Justin over here, who is actually playing Premier League, a fantasy Premier League, and then you obviously know that these are legit. So most likely this is Mo Salah, and you can rate his team, of course. He has Dean. I sold my Dean. And yeah, I mean, Dean is a very interesting player. Realistically, maybe I shouldn't be selling him, but I think the good run for Wolves, sorry, not for Wolves. For Wolves, it is starting, and for Aston Villa, it is getting over. So we'll see if someone has picked up some Wolves players, and FPL Raptor did that, in fact. But let's talk about Prem players. This is Trent Alexander-Arnold with a rank of 1.4 million, which is very solid, much better than many of the so-called pundits have now, which is still the start of the season. We can't really judge harshly, but let's face it, if your rank is over 2 million right now, you're not winning Fantasy Premier League. So, and if you're not winning a Fantasy Premier League, what's the point of even trying? And there's Lallana Dinray, Arsenal, Saliba asset over here. Henderson, interesting selection. He still keeps trust in Crystal Palace goalkeeper. Has himself, of course, has Salah as a captain. So look, if Liverpool players trust that Salah is not on the decline and he's going to be delivering points, and it's a good selection, I think, captaining Salah, I think it's worth going for that. And this is interesting. Robo apparently trusts Haaland to deliver points more than his own captain. He has himself in his fantasy team. Everyone apparently has Diogo Jota in their team. Every Liverpool player has Diogo Jota, so it may obviously signify that Diogo Jota is the one who is getting the starting minutes in the Premier League. And then it's either Gakpo or Nunez or Luis Diaz, depending on rotation between the players, who is getting some playtime in the Champions League. If this is the case, and this is actually a good, maybe if you like to punt on these assets, it's a good idea to maybe bring Diogo Jota against Brighton, and there's like Villa as well at home. I think there's goals in these. And Robert, though, 4 million rank, don't know if you can trust him fully. And there you go. This is a crazy Gameweek 6 for Diogo Jota. And his Gameweek 7 score is still solid enough to maintain 150,000 rank. Diogo Jota, ladies and gentlemen. And that previous score, of course, was due to, I think, captaining Palmer. No, just having Palmer in his team. And obviously had Martinelli as a differential. Crazy, bro. Like, some people had like 40 points in this game week. So this is how, like, having one player can change your entire situation. And this is, I'm hoping that some of my picks will be propelling my rank the next few game weeks, because it's unacceptable, man. And then a few of the Villa blanks against Man United, which is understandable, but still a fantastic rank for Diogo Jota. Now, speaking about another Liverpool player, Conor Bradley, who was involved in the international Northern Ireland games, and he has 1 million rank despite taking a hit here and not scoring a lot of points. He captained Haaland over Mo Salah, but he has him as well, and he has no Liverpool assets besides Mo Salah. This is interesting. And then speaking of other players, this is James Justin, who is like kind of like verified, so he's guaranteed that he's playing fantasy. Although I'm pretty sure that the previous players are also guaranteed. By the way, we had some news that reports that Magnus Carlsen is playing fantasy, and I was trying to investigate. I'll be getting to the bottom of that. I found a few mini leagues where Magnus Carlsen was supposed to be, and I didn't find so far. I had no success, but he said that he's casual right now. There is a piece of news saying that he's a casual right now. His rank is bad because he doesn't have Haaland. So there you go. But I couldn't find his rank. I loved following him in my previous videos, or I think I started my channel when he just disappeared, and that was a shame. And there you go. This is 54 points for James Justin, who, by the way, last game week, he scored 2 goals, benched himself. Now he plays himself, and he has Mavididi as well in his team, which is a very interesting and exciting differential. Southampton, Nottingham Forest, which is absolutely not an easy fixture, of course, even though it's a home fixture. Ipswich and Manchester United. So all of these fixtures, I expect Mavididi to return. Not a double-digit haul or something, but at least it's a good player for such a price to have in your team, just in case if you're puzzled what is what is a differential that can maybe help you propel your rank. What could be that differential? Maybe it could be him. Reece James with 7 million rank, and in fact he is not abandoning his fantasy team. He just made a transfer, just like very unlucky game week. His captaincy blanked, and he didn't really have any players that just delivered points, man, except for Pope. Weirdly enough, playing away against Everton, I think it was 0-0, hence the clean sheet. And speaking of Newcastle players, this is where this is Johnny Drum, but this is Anthony Gordon, who has Shar and has himself, of course, not captaining himself, but captain Nicholas Jackson against Nottingham Forest. Ooh, did he expect them to like smash them or what? Nottingham Forest are not an easy fixture, and this is Joe Willock with 69 points and almost within 3 million. His rank is within 3 million. He has Saka, who is really carrying his team, and Kudus and Madueke as differential. Madueke, do you remember his hat trick that hyped everyone around him? This is Stormzy, who actually finished very well last season, and his rank right now is 5 million, and his team is not looking good. He took -4 hit, his captaincy blanked, his Semenyo big blanked, like mine as well, and there's not a lot of players that are picking up points, and Keane is benched. 3rd player from the bench, the one who is returning points. That's unfortunate. Kaisai, actually Kaisai has a better rank than me, so there you go. He probably is a better expert at fantasy. And he has Matters. Actually, Matters is tempting, so I'm gonna be probably most likely bringing in either Brandon Rogers or Brandon Johnson, sorry, not Brandon Rogers. Brandon Johnson or Madison. And I think it's gonna be Brandon Johnson, just because Madison, if you look at the heat maps, he's just like so deep, even though he scored a goal and assisted there. But I think I'm still gonna be picking Brandon Johnson. But look, they're playing against West Ham at home, Crystal Palace away, Villa at home, Ipswich at home. I see goals being scored here. This team is like a very open, playing very open. I don't care about conceded goals. That's why I don't have Tottenham defenders. Well, look, who am I to tell you about defenders? I am the owner of Triple Arsenal defense, which is not working. I think I jinxed them the moment I brought them into my team. Speaking of your favorite creators, this FPL Raptor with 59 points and wildcard played, and actually not a bad wildcard start. Obviously, that's propelling him from his previous rank, but like, look, some people got 70 points and even more this game week just because owning or captaining Saka helped them so much. Obviously, he brought in Palmer, who is playing Newcastle and Man United, which is something that I think a good run of fixtures now. It starts from Newcastle game. I think this is where they're going to be scoring goals, maybe considering it's going to be like a high-scoring goal, like game like 3-2 or something. But I would definitely not be bringing it for Liverpool game. So the idea right now is maybe low-key to save a transfer and not bring Brandon Johnson, sorry, and bring in Palmer somehow so they can play him even away at Manchester United. He can deliver, and then it's an Arsenal game, which is probably where he may blank. But after that, it's Leicester, and it's just very nice. It's Leicester, Villa, Southampton, and Spurs, and then Brentford, and it's just like you can keep him for half a season then. So the question is when you're bringing Palmer, and I think Palmer's ceiling is like unlimited. So I am kind of tempted by making the transfer right now and bringing Palmer like FPL Raptor did, or maybe just taking him for a hit eventually, or maybe selling Salah or doing something extraordinary. This is FPL Focal or Oscar, and his rank is actually around, like, look, I was a little bit frustrated about my 2 million rank. These people actually doing this for a living, so maybe I'm not even that bad. But look, he had Saka, vice captain, unfortunate, and he's at 16 points here, carrying the team still regardless, nonetheless. And there is also a team of Harry Daniels, 62 points. Now, he is a visionary. Out of all of creators, I think what he's talking about, he's actually, like, I think he, like, sees the pictures and planning in a completely different way, similarly to out of all people who are, like, running YouTube channels. I just can't put my finger on why is it happening to him, but he's always, like, extremely successful in the first few game weeks, and then it's all about holding and being very template, and that's how he gets top 5k, top 10k every season. Crazy, man, crazy. That's what about, it's more about, like, being very diligent and disciplined. And speaking of other fantasy creators, Andy, I think we're about sharing about the same rank. Wait a minute, 2,090,000. Oh, I'm better than Andy. Let's go, 300,000 subscribers. Please check out my channel. Please check out my channel. I'm just joking. Andy is actually, in fact, the person who made me start this channel, and it was a OneFootball app that was partnered with my channel a long time ago, and they sent me a video and showing, like, this is how we want you to post a video, and that was a video of Andy playing fantasy, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, fantasy Premier League, that could be fun. And yeah, so thanks to Andy, I decided to start playing fantasy in the first place. So crazy how time flies, and it's been 3 years now. And I'm addicted to a point where I'm running a channel myself, which is just me yapping about these teams in particular. This is where Saka, of course, is there. But look, I think Saka's time is a little bit limited now. I would be eating my Arsenal assets, even defenders now, for this Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea game. I don't know how these people, they want to go through these. I think this is the time for you to gain points. So for me, it would be probably getting rid of Semenyo for these fixtures, getting rid of Arsenal assets and bringing in Palmer a little bit ahead of the curve, and maybe sacrificing one of the Arsenal defenders and bringing in someone like Rico Lewis, who probably will be playing, hopefully, and not really rested for too many games by Pep, because that's most likely what's going to be happening. He can be playing all games, really. I can't believe that, because he's in my fantasy team for the Champions League. I can't believe he's going to be playing all of them. But, you know, so far so good. He's playing like 90 minutes in Champions League, then there's like 70 minutes in Prem, and you will take it, of course. It's just a shame that they conceded to Fulham twice. This is Fabio Borges with 56 points, and his rank is also around 2 million, like for me. So he is also a visionary. He's like a well-regarded by like Elite 100 or like a top 50, top 24, whatever you name the number. He is always there, one of the most visionary managers of all time. And if I look at their rank, right now my rank is also not screaming too many points. I kind of like low-key maybe cut myself some slack. But look, this is where Ben Crellin, another visionary in my opinion, is picking up some pace by scoring points, by having Palmer, of course. And his team is looking very solid. Like, look, he doesn't have Raya, and he scores exactly the same amount of points as Raya does. So this is saved 2 million and invested that, and he has Palmer and Saka in his team. And Bruno Fernandes, whom I think he's going to be getting rid of eventually, just because he just doesn't... Manchester United are like in shambles right now. Has Vardy's differential, no Haaland too, has Foden. This is going to be one of those very tricky decisions for him, whether he's picking up Haaland eventually. This crazy differential team who has a rank of 600,000. So it's a savage team, man, and you got to respect it. No Salah, no Haaland, Saka captain, and who is actually in fact propelling his team towards this top 1 million rank, because this game week rank is crazy. If you're scoring top 1 million rank every game week, I think you're eventually winning the Prem, Fantasy Prem. I don't know. So yeah, this is the video. I don't know.
I don't know exactly. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like or drop a comment. I would be glad to see you engaged, and I'll try to answer the comments about like deadline decisions. I will be looking forward to watching some of the games. I try to watch most of them, and yeah, and making another video next week.